Ecamm Fam, what's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Marshall Creates with Ecamm. If you're joining us live, happy Thursday. If you're in a replay squad, happy whatever day it is that you're watching this. I'm excited to have you here. I appreciate you. I know you're taking some time out of your day to see what I'm doing. So I don't take that lightly. And I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. So let me check in with the fam. It's like we got Paul. Hey, shout out to Dan for having us over on LinkedIn yesterday for Straight Out of Ecamm. If you guys haven't checked that out, you gotta head over to LinkedIn and connect with Dan Roth. It was really cool. Had a bunch of interviews set up back to back to back. So of course he interviewed Katie, um, Ken and Glenn, myself, and a bunch of other folks. So shout out to Dan. What he's doing is amazing. I think he's the first person to do something like that with the entire like Ecamm, I guess team. So um, appreciate you, my brother. George, it's great to see you. Luis, great to see you. Up your food game. Welcome, welcome. Cooking up a storm. Nice. What you cooking? Let us know what you're cooking. Jada's story. I love that. Is that your actual name? That's really dope. If so, Jada K storytelling tarot. Woohoo! Happy to catch a live timely topic as well. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Tatiana, welcome. Use continuity camera to record. I don't personally, but I believe you can. Unless they made some updates. So I mean, I don't really use it. I just use this primarily, and I'll share my screen and things like that. But um, other than that, no, I don't really use continuity camera. So I do know macOS Sonoma just came out and they do have some new like presentation features. So I haven't really tried them out myself. Um, and it'll be cool to see how they can be integrated with Ecamm, if at all. When that time comes, I'm sure Ken and Glenn are on it, maybe thinking of some ways to kind of integrate those features. One of them is like presentation mode, or something like that. You know what? Let's look at it real quick. Let's look at it real quick since we got time, y'all. Um, okay, so let me change my screen. Oh, dang, my daggone stream deck isn't even plugged in. Shucks, I gotta do things the old-fashioned way. Hold on. Okay, cool. There we go. So let me just switch my screen over to my other. We can use this screen. Let's switch my screen over to my other one really quickly. Once I find, here it is. Hold on, y'all. We gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Hold on, let me find my overlays, screen share, primary display. Boom, there we go. Okay. New hair. Yup, I had chopped it off because I was telling my wife I need to have hair built for speed right now in this season I'm entering into. And if I wasn't, if you tune in every week, you know what I'm dealing with in terms of the balding, right? The male pattern baldness in my crown. If I wasn't dealing with that, I could just throw the braids in it. I could do the locks, which was the eventual goal. But both of those hairstyles put a lot of strain and on your scalp, and it could lead to permanent hair loss. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just chop it off because I need something quick. I don't have time to be doing my hair, for 30 minutes to an hour before I gotta hop on camera. So, but just a quick plug, y'all head on over to my channel. I'm gonna be doing a lot more videos over there. So please subscribe. I'd appreciate that, Marshall Fox. But yeah, I need hair built for speed. All right, so let me move my comments over real quick. Cool. So Dan says the event from yesterday will be premiering here on Ecamm Network soon. Um, yeah, the Sonoma backgrounds are really dope. That's really the only thing I've done with it. So as you can see, I have one here. But yeah, it's just like a moving background. Even though I did have that installed. It was called Ariel, where on Apple TV it has different moving backgrounds. And I was able to install that on my computer, which I've been using for several years. But now it's like an official feature of Mac OS, which is cool. And it's a moving background when your screen is locked, but when you unlock it, it kind of like comes to a screeching halt. But like it's like a smooth, like it stops moving, but it like does it in a smooth way. So it's really cool. Oh, it shows it right here, literally. So once it's unlocked, it'll probably show you. See how it comes like to a crawl? Did you see that? Did you see? Watch this. So you see it locked, right? It is locked, but once it is unlocked, it'll like slow down and stop. And like that'll be your desktop background. But anyway, this isn't a Sonoma plug, but they do have some new presentation features like this, where it's kind of like an automatic green screen, and you can put a presentation behind you. And then they also have this little feature here where you can have like a little bubble of yourself. And then it looks like they do some kind of green screening and have your head popping out over the circle. I think that's pretty cool. So it'll be fun to see how we can integrate these features with Ecamm soon. Um, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I haven't tried these out myself yet, but I will. I will at some point. Yeah. You can do a different background on each monitor. I didn't even know that. That's dope. Here, let me move this. Let me. Oh, I don't want to move this like that. Yeah, that is cool. All right, y'all. So as you know, in this episode, we are doing branding. So if you have a channel or a show that you would like us to brand, to create a logo for, a channel cover, something like that, let me know, and we will work on it. We'll work on it. So, what's not gonna watch? Yeah, absolutely. Um, Game Time Bobby G, what's good? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, so Story says this is her real name. That's crazy. That's really dope. Um, Storytelling writer, so it was ordained. I love that. Created my logo. Curious if you would change it. Yeah, I'm open to giving feedback too, y'all. If y'all don't have anything for me to create, and if you just want me to give feedback on your things, um, let me know. So yeah, if you can shoot it to my email, Dan, um, for feedback. And Game Time Bobby G, are you volunteering? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. So let's check out your channel. Just give me a second here. YouTube. Okay. Game Time Bobby G. Game Time 216 Cleveland Sports Talk. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Game Time Bobby G. Gonna go to me first. Okay, you sent it to okay. Okay, and I'm looking right here. Cleveland Sports Talk. I actually like this, to be honest. This is a very wide um chalkboard. It's a very wide chalkboard. But I get what you're trying to do. You want to make sure it fits. I get it. I get it. It's a very wide chalkboard. And the pixelation, like it's kind of it's a little blurry. A bit more blurry than, I would recommend. But sports talk, real talk, sports talk, real talk. So I'm looking here. Game Time 216. I actually really like this logo, to be honest with you. The one you have here. So, I actually wouldn't recommend you change that. And I don't say that often. And if you know me, especially as a designer, you know that I'm a stickler and I pick apart things, especially logos, because the majority of them, at least when my clients come to me with something existing, they're bad, because I work with a lot of like 7, 8 figure speakers, authors, coaches, and consultants. And to be honest, they got to that level with the logo they did themselves, the Fiverr logo, the homie. So when new clients come to me, I tell them like, you don't even have to spend a ton of money on your branding before you make money in your business, money that will cover more than cover a new brand. So that's where the majority of my clients are when they come to me, and they're already at that 7 figure mark in most cases. So it's almost like you have to get that market validation. You have to get it out the mud and prove to yourself and prove to the market that your brand needs to exist first without the flashy logo. If you have a flashy logo and a crappy business or crappy product, the logo is pointless. So you kind of have to sell it without the flashy. Can you do it? Is your product strong enough? Is your service strong enough to not necessarily need the best logo? So I know I'm going off on a tangent, but that's just some game. And I actually really like this logo. This one right here, Game Time 216. I actually really like it. So that said, I suggest you keep it. I'm going to suggest you keep this. And I don't say that very often, maybe one time out of 10 out of the logos that I'm presenting, maybe 10% of the time. So you should be proud of this logo. This Game Time 216. I think it's really simple. It's cool. It's not doing too much. And your fans, if they're Cleveland fans, they know what they're getting. The name is good, Game Time, and then 216. I'm assuming that's the area code there. They know what time it is. You see what I'm saying? No, no pun intended. So, I'm digging it. I'm actually digging it. Okay, so let's get another volunteer. Or, in the meantime, if anybody else wants to submit something, or channel or anything for rebranding a show, let me know. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and pull up Dan's logo. So just give me a second here. Window. Just check my email, y'all. Grab this logo. Okay. Alrighty. Second card channel. Bet. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look in a second. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this logo. So this is Dan's logo. So your logo should be, I'm going to drop a lot of game on y'all, okay? And this is for those who are interested in design or branding. Your logo should be simple, memorable, timeless, versatile, and appropriate. So I don't have to go into each of those, but simple goes without saying, right? It should be memorable. Is it something that's sticking in your head when people try to recall your logo? They're like, oh yeah, I know exactly whose logo that is. Timeless. Can you picture it on the side of skyscraper for 100 years without having to change it? Think CBS, NBC, Target, most Fortune 500 companies. Versatile. It needs to be versatile. When you scale it down in the corner of a video or at the top of a website, can you see what it says? Can you make out what it is? Right? And appropriate. It should connect with your audience, but really, as long as it doesn't fly over their heads, it's good. Like, it doesn't have to tell a whole story with the logo. Like, your logo is meant to identify your brand, right? Not explain. It's meant to identify, not explain. So you don't have to tell a whole story with your logo. Like, why isn't Target's logo or Walmart's logo a shopping cart? You don't need this. It doesn't need to be, right? What is Walmart's logo? Who knows? Is it a sun? Maybe. Who cares, right? It's just something that's meant to identify the business, not explain, not tell a whole story. So that said, Dan, is your logo hitting this criteria? No. It does hit the simplicity, right? And your logo should also work in one color as well. If you were to make the entire logo one color, could you see what it is? If we were to make this logo one color, that microphone, which I didn't know what it was at first, so I really kind of zoomed in and looked at it, it would get lost, right? If you put a color overlay on the DRC with the mic, Dan Rolfe Consulting, you would see the DRC and you were like, oh, something's a little funky with that D. But you would lose the color and, of course, all of that. Could you tell what it is? No, you wouldn't be able to tell what it is. And it's such a niche microphone, a unique microphone, that if you're not familiar with that microphone, if you haven't seen it, then you wouldn't have no idea what it is. Like, is it a popsicle? What is it? If you use like a SM7, I'm not saying you can't use a microphone in your logo, but if I was to use a microphone, I would try to use one of the most popular microphones or a regular microphone or something like that. But that's not entirely necessary. Okay. So, um, and it's like a 3D image or rendering as well. I wouldn't, use anything like that, because could you embroider this? If it hits that criteria, yes. Um, but could you embroider it? No, you would not be able to embroider something like that. So it has to pass the embroidery test. And then this background, I mean, you could probably put this logo on any kind of background, but you want to kind of keep it clean, minimal. Um, I can't really tell what it is, but it's like more of like a grunge type of texture. And I'm just now noticing this infinity symbol. So it looks like you have like a lot of hidden meaning and symbolism, and stuff may mean stuff to you, but we have to make sure that we don't fall into the trap of wanting to have a logo that has all this meaning to us, but our audience has no idea. Um, a lava lamp. Okay, hold on. Let me check back in with the Okay, so we'll look at up your food game as well, and Project Car Junkie. So let me make a note of that. Food game. So I guess it's more of a feedback episode, all right? Of your and Project Car Junkie. I like that. I like the connection. Um yeah, so, and you typically, and this is, I do like the fact that the R is taller than the D and the C. I do like that. That makes it a little bit more unique. Um, so I do like that. But like I said, it doesn't hit the all of the criteria. You don't want to have a logo that has all this meaning to us. But our audience has no idea, what it is, what it means. And if you have to explain it to your audience, then it's like it's a failure, right? I have a very high profile client, retired professional athlete. I has had the same exact conversation with. So this is a mistake that a lot of us make, where you just have to educate you. Like, yeah, you want to have something that you don't have to replace next year, right? And that tends to happen when you do the logo yourself. And it's not a terrible thing, but I'm trying to give you a cheat code, right? Because like I said, till you hit a certain level in your business, you don't need to spend a whole bunch of money. I mean, I would suggest hiring a professional, but even still, if you had a logo you did on your own, as long as it hits that criteria, you're more than likely fine. Feedback. I know, only because, I mean, we'll see. We will see. But timing wise, I know we have a bit of a later start in terms of um I would have usually have gotten started by now. Yeah. Michelle Lawrence. Welcome. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we have time. Let's look at up your food. Let's look at Project Car Junkie first, and then we'll look at up your food game. But yeah, thanks Dan for sharing this. If you did want to incorporate a microphone of some sort, I would make sure it's flat, like it's a flat illustration. It's easy to see exactly what it is, and I'll show you an example really quickly, y'all. Um, this right here. See, I have the Shure SM7B in the logo, right? Can you guys see this? But it's clear on first glance what it is. It's a microphone. If you're familiar with any kind of microphone, 9 times out of 10 you have seen this. So I'm not recommending you just use that, but it was a no brainer for me for this. Like, if I'm gonna use a mic, I'm using the SM7B, not because I'm biased, but because it clicks automatically. If somebody's a podcaster, if they're in their audience, they'll see that and then know exactly what it is. I'm not going to use a super niche microphone because I have the mic, or I like the mic and I think it looks cool, when the audience is like, what is that? You see what I'm saying? But if you did, I would just make it look a lot more obvious that it's a microphone. Yeah, no, I get that. So it means something to you, but in the logo, it's like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? So the logo is for your audience, it's not for you. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay. Alrighty. So let's look at Project Car Junkie. Just give me a second, y'all. Window. YouTube.com. Boom. Cool. Yeah, you definitely need a logo. So we might have to put you down. I don't know if we have time to do two today or even one, but we'll see. A Project Car Junkie. I like this. What is this? A Scion XB? What is that? What vehicle is that? I can't tell. Um, XA something. Um, Logo should be working black and white. Yup. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did give you feedback on the logo that you shared. Yup. Yup. You should be able to tell what it is if you just make it black and white. Just think of all the most popular logos you can think of. You know, and they, if you make them black and white, you can see. Well, that's good. Well, that's good. I know a little something. You know what I'm saying? I know a little something. Been doing this 7 years, done over $1 million in projects. It should be well close to 1.3 now. I know a little something, a little something. um, like I said yesterday, man, that's why I ain't as big on YouTube because I've just been working, doing the same this day in and day out. I'm not popular for being popular like a lot of YouTubers are. You know what I'm saying? Like I just work. Nissan Q. Oh, that's good. Scion XD. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not as up on my cars as I used to be. Um, cool. All right. I do like that. I actually really like this a lot. Even though it doesn't hit the criteria, but the fact that you have this as your profile picture at least. Um, and are you primarily working on your car on here? If so, it would be cool to include um probably your car in some form of fashion in the logo, even if it was like a silhouette of the car. That probably would be cool. Silhouette with like the modification that you've made to the body shown somehow. So that would be cool. I'm just looking at it, like even like tracing it. They're having like a silhouette. I think that would be nice. It's part of the logo. And they have Project Car Junkie and some kind of like cool font next to it or something like that. David, what's good, my brother? You missed the beginning. You have to hit the replay when I told the story about the hair. Long story short, I gotta have hair that's built for speed with how busy I'm gonna be. No more downtime, but it's a good thing. All right, so now let's look at up your food game. So we may have to revisit this in another episode. If I start doing these weekly instead of like bi-weekly or when I feel like it, we're definitely gonna tackle this logo. All right, so give me a second. Is it the one that says this channel is getting a makeover? Let me see. Let me look at your. Yep. This will be cool to do. Let's see if we got time. I have to end promptly at 3:00. So what I'm going to do is, what is it about? Let me see. Now I'm back. You and me both. I need to do one of these. We're gonna do a text-based logo, but all right, let's just jump in, y'all. Let's just jump in. Let's go to Adobe Stock to get some ideas. Want to do text-based, and let's just do food logo. Let's just see what we're working with. Maybe we can incorporate some type of plate or something for. Oh, this is cool. For one of the O's, or do something like that would be cool. Here are a bunch of different templates. Just kind of looking for something with a layout that I may like. But I like something like this. D. Just thinking, y'all. Don't mind me. Thinking. Yeah, absolutely. And sloppy. I did not. Let me scroll back up real quick. Global Wild Free Equipment. All right. Wildfire. They're wild free. YouTube.com /@ global wildfire equipment. This is cool. I'm not a fan of the banner, but your logo is cool. I do think it's a bit busy, like trying to squeeze these icons on the side. The size is unnecessary. Um, but overall, I think it's nice. It's not terrible. It's actually nice. I do like that. So I don't necessarily recommend a redo, but this could be like refreshed, where maybe pick a different font for global and wildfire. Maybe remove this inner line because you want it to be simple, right? As simple as possible. Like, what can you remove out of it where you can still tell what it is? Like, take everything, like break it down to its most basic form. Um, but yeah, all right, let's jump over here. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this as a starting point because I have an idea that I want to play with. Okay, so I'm gonna download this really quickly. We got exactly 30 minutes. Clients. So what I'm doing, I typically don't do this when I'm branding for clients. Like, we do a strategy process, and um it's a lot more involved. But I do have retainer clients who may need a quick logo for an event or something like that. Or, if it's like timed where, let's say they pay for a certain amount of hours a month. So I'll try to be as efficient as possible with the hours. Then I'll use shortcuts like this where I'll try to grab something I can start with. So essentially, I'm using Adobe Stock to do the thinking for me, okay? Knowing the time constraint that we're under. On my shot list. Okay. Bacon like I had burnt. All right, so let's say this real quick. Ecamm Live. Marshall Creates. This is episode 28, right? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna put this in a new document. Y'all know about my frenzy template. All right. So I'm gonna think out loud as I work on this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove. You know what? Let me do this. Group this. I'm gonna work really fast and I'm gonna just talk through this. This is not necessarily a tutorial, but just to get you in my head. So when I look at things like this, I look at it for its potential. Okay. So I'm going to use this H as a part of a D. Okay. I'll leave this spatula for now. But when I looked at it and I'm looking at up your food game, I'm like, okay, I think using the hat is cool. What can I salvage from this that's connected to the hat, the chef's hat? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, I could use part of the H as the left part of a D. And it will reconfigure the logo completely. So it's going to look very different when I'm done because chef is literally like the middle. The H is like almost the middle of the word chef, but the D is all the way at the right of the word food. So what I'm going to do now is try to find a font that's similar to chef, because food is going to be a focal point. Of course, I have to find a font and maybe use the same font for game, and then I'll put up your, not up yours, but up at the top, up here somewhere, up your food game. Okay, so the up your may even look like this lorem ipsum down here, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So now I have one font in mind called Bouquet. Now it's called, yeah, Bouquet. This is similar enough, right? Yeah, I think this is cool. You know, in the interest of time, let's see if there are any alternates. Kind of reminds me of a logo I did back in the day called He Bakes Too. It's a guy, I forget my client's name. He's one of my first clients, but he's like jacked. He's like in the gym, but he also is a baker and he does cupcakes, right? So he has a company called He Bakes Too. Let me show you guys this real quick. Oh, here it is right here. Look at that. So it's like a cupcake. It says He Bakes, and then the word two is like the cupcake, like a wrapper. He Bakes Two gourmet cupcakes. So I believe that's the same font that we're getting ready to use here. All right. So all right. So do this. I'm gonna put it at an angle. I'm actually really digging it. I'm digging it. So I'm essentially gonna remove this right part of the D, the existing D, and merge it into the part we have waiting for us. Boom. So y'all see where I'm going with this, right? If you can see where I'm going with this, smash the like button for me. I'd appreciate that. So Ecamm can keep me around a little longer. Cool. So we got food, and we're gonna remove all of this because we don't need this right now. So I need to figure out a way to have up your, and I will likely make this F a little smaller. All right, so it's not huge, and then but I can increase the weight of it like this, so it still looks like it's the same size. I'm gonna tilt it a little bit as well. And we'll change the colors when we get to that step. But right now, we're just worrying about the layout. Listening to thinking out loud. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I do this like all day, every day. So trying to talk through it is easy. I'm just saying what's in my head. Object expand. Okay, so let's just make this all brown just so we can see how it'll merge into it. So we have food. So let's go ahead and make game in the same font, because food game is like a focal point. Out of up your food game, what do you think, is like an important part of that? The most important part, food game. So let's write game. Not really a fan of this G. Not really a fan of that one either. But I'll fix it. All right, I'll make it look like something that I'll approve of. As of now, I don't. All right, game. what I'm actually gonna do. So this would be cool for y'all to see. And I could have maybe did a lowercase g. I'm trying to think how I want to do this because there's a couple ways I can do it. So I could actually do a C here and then have a G. Nah, I'll keep it with the G, but then I'll show y'all something cool. Let's go ahead with an uppercase, but show y'all how my mind works. And a lot of designers, what we do, like we take something that's not there and make it into something. So I have this and then this. So we're gonna rebuild this G real quick. Okay, I could do it a lowercase, like a big lowercase G, but let's see what this looks like real quick if we did do that. So I took the top part of this F, right? Just make it black. Could use it like this. Oh, that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. But what I was thinking was using it like this. Something like that. Of course, I would make this a little bigger. So I think I kind of like it like this better though. Okay. So what I'll do is let's use a couple of them to do what we need to do. So I'm using the shape builder tool to build shapes. So now I'm gonna remove this, oops, from here. Boom. So now we have our G, y'all. Now we have the G that we like as opposed to this, which I wasn't a fan of. So I'm gonna move this up, tilt it. So this is 10.959 angle. So G and then do 10.959. So we have some overlapping going on. So I may move this down or make it smaller. That's probably what I'll do. I'll make it a little quirky. Unless I did this one up here and then move this over. Trying to figure out the configuration to make it fit. But I don't want it to look ghetto either. So I think I'm gonna rock with this executive decision. But we got to connect the O's. So I'm going to delete this and this, and have it come over here, right here, and then here. Hey Eric, thanks for joining us. Critique your wardrobe. All right. Well, this looks okay. So we move the GAME food game. I can move this down a little bit. I can move this down a little bit. Excuse the background noise. I can't stand it. They decide to come and cut the grass on Thursdays. It's like they wait until I'm live to come and make a bunch of noise. All right, so now because we have this cool flourish on the D, I want to do something cool with the E as well. So I'm just going to literally just kind of like improv this. I'll make it look smooth and sexy. Looks a little weird, but I guess it's fine. Maybe I'll make it a little smaller. I just didn't want it to look like how it looked. Of course, I would take more time to fully develop this and make sure it's nice and smooth. Okay, so it gets thin down here. That's what happens. Getting there. The key is making it look like it's part of the font, not something that's added on. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to do object, path, simplify. That's not helping. Okay. Maybe curl the E under the word game. Yeah, I thought about that too. But um I feel like it's dead space over here. You know what I'm saying? So if we take off this, I feel like something else could be over here, you know. And I still can add for example, something like this down here. Maybe stretch it out. Or have the spatula down there. Yeah, let's do that. We got this long spatula. Oops, there's a little opening here. Doing surgery here, folks. Yeah, this now, after looking at it with a fresh eye, this thing looks huge. I'm like, bruh, what is this? Let's just make it really simple, y'all. Let's make it really simple. Let's see, what did it look like before? Okay, it was like a little point. Oops. Okay. Just gotta smooth it out real quick. We should be good to go. All right, so I'm just drawing shapes over top of shapes to delete certain sections that are a little bumpy and frumpy. The details, y'all. All right. So we're going to leave this here for now. So now we need to put up your at the top. But I think we'll do this in like a simple font. Or we could put it over here instead of up here. I think that'll work. So something really simple. And if you have any like color scheme, it's ready. Oh, I appreciate that. Across the pond. Okay, up your. And let's do app side. I think app side will work for this purpose. Okay, so up your. So let me, if you move up over like this, how would this look? Not feeling it. So what we'll do is what we originally planned. Put it up here, make it smaller. Object, hold on. Object, transform, shear. Let's make it like a little more slanted. Like this. And I may need to make this, the top of this F, a little straighter than it is. So let me see. infamous greatest of all time. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we could put this in some type of circle as well. So yeah, we'll do that and finish it up. But let me see about making this a little straighter. Um, and then kind of curving it. So just like right here. Then curving it. So this may look a little weird. So if I reduce the opacity of these so you can see what I'm trying to do. Um, it's an art, y'all. So I'm using shapes on shapes and deleting them and all of that. So I'm gonna delete this section, delete this, delete this. Combine this. So we have the overall shape of what I'm going for. Bring this back to make it more balanced. Okay, so now this looks weird, right? Because I combined several shapes in order to make this. So I gotta fix it. So I'm selecting these two shapes. Well, first, let me add this. Delete this frumpiness out of there. And then we're almost done, y'all. Then the same for the top. There's a little divot right here. So let's just see if we just delete this. There we go. I think it looks pretty cool, right? We may not have time to jump into color exploration right now. But as a final thing, I'll do like a similar similar circle situation like the original. So as you can see, this is the original, so we can do something similar to that. Remove all this. So this is like working files. So I'm gonna group all of this. Oh shoot, it's being difficult. All right, that's fine. So I'm gonna just draw a couple circles. So let's see what we were looking like. So we're going to do something similar to that. So I have this circle. Right? Just do another one. around it, but we want it to be similar to the other. Okay, so that's one. Okay, so I'm going to use the shape builder tool and delete this. So now we have this, and we can flip the color scheme from the stroke being that color to the fill. So now we have that. And let's just duplicate this, flip it, and see if that'll work for the other half that we need. And it's not. So come back up. And we're going to do something similar. All right, I think that's it, y'all. And then the same thing, delete that, flip this, but then make it the yellow, right? To bring it below, and then add an outline around this spatula, okay? So let me do that. I do feel like this is too large though, to be honest. Like, it's top heavy to me. Let's not make them both more like thinner. Okay. So I actually made these thinner. Okay. Food game. I like the gold. Oh, actually, I'm actually digging that. But let me see if I can group all this now. Oh shoot. You know, I'm deleting all this other stuff because we don't need it anymore. My man. We're almost done, y'all. Let me see if I can group this now. All right, I can. So now I can move stuff around, put the circles at the bottom, but we still need that separation. So this is a good way for me to illustrate what I mean when I said it should work in one color. So if I move this down because it is this overlap, it's not a big deal because you can still see this is spatula, but I don't like the fact that this is overlapping and there's no separation. And then same up here. So what I'll do is add some separation. But first, I'll make this the weight of up your a little heavier. Offset path. Let's do 10. Oh, that's way too much. Let's do 2, 4. Let's do 3. Okay. Because it has to be versatile. So when it's scaled down, you still need to be able to read it, right? So we have this, but I'm going to add that separation like I told you guys about. So check this out. I'm just going to add a white stroke around it. See? So now we have that separation. Same here. So the stroke is 10 points. So I'll do the same for this. Ten-point stroke. To add that separation down here. Combine. So I'm going to delete this and this from these shapes. So now we have a separation. See that? So if I was to take this and make it one color, you can see that separation here, right? So ideally, I would before I would do that, I would delete this yellow out of the chef hat and all of that first, if it was to be used in one color, right? So if I did make it all one color, it would look like this. So still easily legible. All right, so that's it, y'all. This is the final product. Let me know your thoughts. We didn't really get a chance to do color exploration, but it's fine. I think it looks good. But yeah, I'll send you these logos. So in one color and then the colors, and then make sure you get the actual file. So you guys can change up the colors as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what y'all think. If you enjoyed this. First, how do we get your email? Connect with Mr. Moderator, please. We got to get your email. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. I greatly appreciate it. When 7 minutes over, hopefully my wife doesn't come. She said, "You better be done by 3." I said, "Babe, I am. Trust me." But I think this is worth it. I think it looks good. And yeah, it's time for, the channel's been under construction for 3 years. It's time to bring it out of hiding. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you could shoot Mr. Moderator your email, we'll make sure we'll get them over to you. I'm actually getting ready to leave, so we'll have them to you as soon as possible. All right. If you guys hit that like button, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is the final product. I hope you love it. Up your food game. Yeah, and I appreciate y'all, and I will see you all next week. Peace.